This episode is brought to you by yours truly, Matt Norn of Remax Bell Park. For all of your real estate needs, call me 860-428-6534. Your dreams are my job. Welcome to the Community Workbench. I'm Matt Norn and this is Kyle Morrissey. We are your hosts of the number one podcast in my basement. At the bench, we try to repair the sense of community. So every week, we bring you small businesses, entrepreneurs, community leaders, charities, and pretty much whoever we feel like talking to. And today, we have the distinct pleasure of having Brooklyn Cares Community Center, Shelly Cates and Jill Burbo. I got it.
Perfect.
So, Shelly, Jill, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you
It's a
very
great
much.
honor for us to be able to come out here and promote Brooklyn Cares.
Yeah, certainly welcome. Now, Brooklyn Cares is fairly new to the scene, right? How long have you guys been operational?
It is. We have been operational since September of 2023, so just shy of 2 years. Coming up on our 2 years here in the fall.
And like, whose idea? How did this come about?
Oh, I would love to talk about her.
Yeah.
So, Patty Buell, who used to be the superintendent in
Yeah.
Brooklyn, we all know her. We all love her. It was her idea, her vision to get it going.
Nice.
And she's done all the research behind it, how to get it going, and really surrounded the idea with a bunch of great people that could get it going.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so she retired as a
Yeah.
superintendent, right? So is that kind of like her
perfect for
full-time
us.
gig? Yeah, kind of going on.
Works for us, for sure.
Perfect for
Yeah.
us. Yeah. She will say that she took a back seat until she retired, and I'm sure she did, but now that she's retired, she's the one making all of our connections throughout the community. 90% of them, you would agree. Getting us up to where we need to be to get grants done. It's a board effort. We do have a board. They all work hard, but I would say it's definitely her driving force that's getting us to where we need to be.
Wow. And is she the one who baked us these cookies?
She did.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. You guys brought cookies and wine and bourbon. They brought us some Woodford Reserve, double oaked. Wow. I can't tell you how on the spot that is for our favorite stuff.
Oh, good.
Cookies and wine. And it's all local stuff. The wine is, you said Jonathan Edwards?
No, this one's Sharp Hill.
This one's
Oh,
Sharp
it
Hill.
is Sharp
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So that's very local right here in Pomfret. And as soon as I'm done my Taylor Brook Stout, I will jump on to the Sharp Hill wine.
Perfect.
So you guys have been around this since the beginning, obviously. How has that been going? Like, what was like the first couple of days like?
Oh,
Jump into
God.
this.
It was,
The first couple days were our first couple months, to be honest, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, I know the vision came and we said, we're going to do this. We started, again, Patty, she did such a great job. She researched other organizations in the area that allowed her to mirror what they were doing and bring it along here. For the food pantry, she was up at Teague, right? She
Yeah.
utilized Teague a lot. And then additionally, she reached out to Emily Ross. She did the Killingly Clothing Closet for many, many, many years, almost as a one-man show. And then she had to close, unfortunately. So we were able to mimic what we were doing off of her, along with some of her. She donated so much of their inventory, their what else was there? The displays, the clientele. I mean, they
Yeah.
find that they can come and still have a place to come, even though she wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, her expertise, the how to paperwork, all
Yep.
of it. Yep.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah.
And then we put the word out, and to be honest, I think it was Brooklyn Parks and Rec who started, and they said, "We're gonna do a game, make it a game for the kids. How many clothes can you bring? How much food can you bring?" And whichever camper group brought the most won, I don't know, ice cream social,
Yeah.
pizza party. I can't remember
I
what
think
the
Nice.
prize
I think
was
you're
at the
right.
time.
Yeah.
And I mean, they stocked some shelves for food. The clothes. I mean, I have a pretty big pickup truck, and I think I brought 3 heaping loads of clothes. So we had a room I don't know, I don't want to say it's maybe twice the size of this room, and that's all we had for space for the clothing at the time, and you couldn't even see the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So we had volunteers just come and help and organize and put shelving together and sort through sizes and styles and seasons, and oh my goodness, it was, we thought we were never going to get there.
Sort
Yeah.
through, rehang, bring it home,
Wash it,
wash it
bring
if
it back.
it needs to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Our volunteers are, they did an amazing job
Yeah.
to help. We spent a lot of hours just getting ready. And then that probably was right at the beginning of summer because
Mm-hmm.
it was for camp. And then by September, we had our grand opening.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So,
That's actually kind of a quick turnaround for such a operation. I feel like that's pretty impressive.
to be open.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that only recently we are at a point where we have gone through all the donations
Yeah.
we had gotten originally.
Oh wow.
Yep.
And that's almost, a year and a half of being able to sort through stuff. We would move it from room to room to room because we were like, we works better over here, it works better over there. So we did a lot of
We've had
shuffling.
some at board members' houses because we didn't have enough
Yeah.
room, right? Yeah.
Well, that's
Their
a good.
basement.
That's another good problem to have. Oh, we
Yeah.
have so
Yeah.
much stuff. It's taking months to go through it and get it out and whatnot. So, most of everything's donations through through the school, through
I think it's,
personal donations, that kind of stuff.
I mean, I can speak mostly on the clothing because that's kind of where my focus is.
Yeah.
And so we get, the schools lost and found come to us. They give like last call to find your lost and found.
Yeah.
And then it ends up with us. I know that the PTO, they do more for food fundraising. But just community members, they just
Yeah.
say, hey, I'm cleaning out my closet. We probably get 6 to 10 bags every time we're open.
Wow.
Garbage bag full of clothes. So our community alone they're like, we love having a local place to donate. We love being able to drop it off here and not put it in a bin at a big box
Somewhere else.
store
Right,
where
right,
we
right.
don't know where it's actually going or who it's helping. So
Yeah. And we'll just so this is Brooklyn Cares Community Center is at 31 Tiffany Street in Brooklyn, Connecticut. Their number is 860-779-3411, extension 311. So if you want to donate, you want to call up and see their hours or see how you can volunteer, definitely give them a call or stop by during their open times.
Yep.
And do you want to go over your hours of operation and what that's kind of like?
Sure. I mean, thank you for sharing the address and the phone number. I do
Sure.
want to just point out that it's not a manned phone number because we're all volunteers.
Okay.
If you have the ability, immediate response usually comes from Facebook Messenger, our
Oh,
Facebook
okay.
page. So that's monitored by multiple people on a
Right,
regular
right.
basis.
Yeah.
The hours of operation, our clothing closet is open on Thursdays from 10 to 1 and then again from 4 to 6. So we have 2 available
Time
times
slots.
to come. And then additionally Saturdays, and it's worth mentioning that they are new hours from 10 to 12. So I just want to make sure that everyone realizes that our hours kind of shifted a little bit earlier from 10 to 12. And we take donations anytime we're open. Yep. And the food pantry is open Thursdays and Saturdays, preferably by appointment only, right?
Right. Yep. We're really trying to get into having appointments. So for so long we didn't have appointments. So now talking about the food pantry, if you're ready to move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to
Yeah.
put it
Oh,
in?
well,
Sure.
we'll just
Talking about hours.
Yeah,
throw 'em
right,
both
right,
of them.
right.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
yeah.
sure.
So the food pantry, at first it was kind of like drop in or call and we'll try to be there at the time. Now we're really trying to schedule because it is a beautiful new space that we have, but it can get crowded. And to make it easier for everybody, you make an appointment, you have 15 minutes to shop around per family. So it's working out much better. And all you have to do is call or email or Facebook message to get an appointment.
Yeah. So you guys primarily do food and clothing. Is there anything else that you guys typically donate?
Soon we are going to be a diaper bank, which
Oh,
is kind of cool. Yeah.
okay.
So as of right now, people that live in the town of Brooklyn can go to other places to get diapers through the diaper bank, but it'll be convenient for them to have it right down the street, obviously. So as of May 1st, we're going to be able to start offering that.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And they do some household goods and toiletries and things like that through the food pantry part of it. So if you have your appointment, you can also get those items.
And you can
Gotcha.
always call us and say you really need something. We have a huge board on in the back room that says so and so needs this, so and so needs that. Keep an eye out.
Yeah. And speaking with the hours, if I was an aspiring volunteer out there,
Yes.
do you have other hours where you guys do prep work or anything else beyond the hours that you're open to the public?
Yeah, the food need always like some assistance in getting from our food banks, right? So we are happy and to say and thank, what do we have? Friends of us? No, sorry, Teague,
Yeah, so
right?
yes, so those hours vary, like to come and help us with that.
Yeah.
But as of right now, we're using the truck from Teague to go up to the Connecticut Food Bank to get our food each month. And then the Weekend Warriors Project in Thompson is also providing their truck and going up to Manchester with us to get the food for us that one time a month. And then we bring it back and we have tons of food and there's a need to kind of put it away. So what we do is you could call or email to get on our list, and then you'd have an updated amount of time that we each week we send it out
Oh, nice.
and ask
Yeah.
for like this week we would need it during this time, this time.
Right. Because I'm sure volume wise, it can be different
Mm-hmm.
depending on what you're receiving and what you're going up and getting. And whatnot.
Exactly.
So,
And when your appointment is, and when we can get the use of the trucks, or when so and so is
Right.
going, and yeah,
yeah.
yep,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So that's pretty well run already.
Yeah.
That's kind of
And
nice.
the clothing closet does have Wednesday hours. So we have volunteers that come that are close to the public that come and do sortings on Wednesdays to get ready
Yeah.
for the next couple days that we're open.
So with clothing, are you under an obligation to like clean it or wash it or?
So we currently take the word of the, of the donator
Yeah.
and hope, and then we make best judgment calls. We're very mindful of putting out things basically due to allergies. That's really our primary concern.
Sure.
Animals, pets, sometimes smoking, right? So there's, kids are sensitive to those types of allergies. So if we find that something comes in like that, then we kind of put it aside. We have one volunteer who takes stuff home and washes. We have
Nice.
someone who goes to a laundromat and washes, or we are in the process of getting a washer and dryer hooked up.
Wow.
It's, again, volunteers. So
Yeah.
it takes some time to get that done.
Sure.
And we'll be able to do laundry there on site. So that'll be great. But for the most part, things come in. People take pride in what they're bringing in. They're happy to donate it. So we don't have too much
Yeah.
issues with that.
Nice. That's awesome. And so when they're just kind of going back to the clothing, when they show up, they have an appointment and they have 15 minutes to kind of pick out what they want, and you guys are no.
No, I
that's
think
not
we're
what-
swapping.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
It's
Sorry.
hard because
Yeah.
we run together, but a little independent because
Yeah.
our inventory on clothing is so great. We don't have a limit. We don't have a limit. We don't have
Oh,
a
nice.
residency requirement. So we are happy to help anyone who needs to come and wants to come. If we are running low, like socks or mittens or something like that, we're like, oh, no, really, I can only take one. We try to limit it, but for
Yeah.
the food, that really is best with an appointment. The clothing, people can just come when we're open. We're happy
Yeah.
to help.
Shelly, Patty, the volunteers have set up the clothing closet to really mimic like you're going shopping. So
That's
there's really
awesome.
no like, we have a room to go try on. We have kids that love to just spend time there and try on clothing and come out, and so it's really like a shopping experience. No time to have to come and no amount of time you can stay.
Nice. So you even have fitting rooms and everything.
Well, we don't technically have fitting rooms. Well, most people feel a little nervous to do that, although we have a place if somebody wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, because it's take it home. If you don't like it, bring it back.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
like,
true. Yeah.
So we're kind of, it's fine to be able to say that. And most of our shoppers, they do. They come back with bags of clothes and they take some. So they're
Yeah.
giving back too, not just utilizing the space.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
really
that makes
great.
it, really nice where they kind of gives you a bigger closet almost,
Yeah.
Places to store outside, right?
Yeah. And you guys have all sizes and shapes. Is there a lack of any size that anybody can bring in that if they have it out there?
Definitely struggle with like undergarment stuff. That's always limited. Nobody donates those nobody wants used, right? So
Right.
that's always
Yeah.
a challenge. And kids sizes, like the rough boy ages, like 10, 12, like
Yeah, because
those
those
ages, because
I
they're
have a 10 and 12-year-old boy,
so they
or he's
more
been through
wear,
all
right?
those stages, and they just wear their clothes
And
out.
girls too. I shouldn't say just that. Like that's the
Yeah,
age that they're rough on their clothes, right?
yeah,
They're
for
playing
sure.
hard. They're outside. And they're not outgrowing them so fast, so they can wear them till they're ragged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that we always struggle. Like I don't know what boy sizes are. I don't have boys. Like 10,
Yeah.
12 for girls, 14, 16, like those for girls. So I think it's similar to that, the
okay,
boy
I think
size.
so.
yeah,
Hmm.
huh?
But
Yeah.
those are always,
Those are always
yeah.
tougher sizes.
Hmm.
And we do have lots of men's clothes. I just want to always say men are welcome too. Like we don't
Yeah.
have as many men shoppers, but I mean, I hope that they, get the word out that they're welcome too. We have tons of selections.
Yeah.
It's a great option, like if you're going out for a job interview or something,
Hmm.
right? And you need some. We have a lot of nice clothes, that you could
Yeah,
even do that.
suits, jackets,
Yep.
ties.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Easter
Yeah.
came and went, and we had some people pick some stuff up, so that was nice.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question for like job interviews and stuff like that. You guys have some dressier clothes and whatnot. That's great.
Yep. We do.
Good
Hmm.
selections.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. And for the food part, how does
Yeah.
that, is there refrigeration? Is it all non-perishable, that kind of thing? Or
Nope.
how's it?
So yes, we have non-perishables. We have them always available, and what each family can select is based on what inventory we have at that time
Sure.
for that month. But we also have three freezers at this time and a refrigerator, a couple
Wow.
donated by Jewett City Savings Bank. Thank you.
Wow. Shout out to
Yeah,
Jewett City
right.
Savings.
Seriously. So we have freezer things, we have meats, and then every week we get donations from Big Y. So we have produce from Big Y, breads from Big Y each week,
Nice.
and then the non perishables as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Our hope is that when you come in, we're providing enough for you to feed your family, right? And as of right now, we're making it every other week you can come in. So you can come in twice
Oh,
a
wow.
month if you need to.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And that the food part is like you register for that and
The food
you're,
part, as of right now, we're asking for it just to be Brooklyn residents,
yeah.
right? And you can call up and you can ask for an appointment. We do fill out an intake that maybe takes 3 or 4 minutes when you first come in. Try to see a copy of an ID if you have one to prove that you're from Brooklyn, and then you're free to shop bi-weekly.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's same, I'm sorry, the hours
The hours are a
is
little bit different for so we have the food pantry is Thursdays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. and then again on Saturdays from 10 to 11.
gotcha. So you guys just run almost opposite of each other as far as hours go almost.
It's funny because we started out originally wanting to be opposite, so there wasn't the confusion that if you need food, you're
You're
there
not
at one
there.
time in
Yeah.
clothing. But then we have a lot of people that do both, and I think we've been open long enough now that we've been able to establish that's kind of what our goal is. So now we are a little bit closer. So you could come to the food pantry on a Saturday morning at 10 and then go right over to do some shopping in the clothing closet as well.
Nice.
But yes, opposite times on Thursday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow. And so you, and one of your things of the future would be diaper pantry,
Diaper bank.
diaper
Yeah,
bank.
yeah, yeah. So that is just done through a simple application asking what your kiddos' ages are, what you're in need of. And the hope will be eventually that nobody will have to travel outside of Brooklyn. They can just come right to us.
What's the logistics of getting that set up? Is that like again more community, or is there banks, like bigger banks that bring the diapers, that kind of thing, or is it both?
I don't know a lot about how we get them besides the fact that Kathy Peterson, who works at Daily Bread in
Oh, okay.
Putnam, is kind of like the diaper bank person. Her and Kathy Osprey, they do it together. So the two of them started it many years ago. I kind of hooked on by doing it through Teague. And then her and I were at a meeting together a while ago, and she's like, "Why don't you do the Brooklyn residents right out of there?" So it really works great because then you're giving another service to bring people in the door and show them what else we have.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's great.
Yeah.
And you guys have a website?
We do.
Is it
Not.
Do.
Kind of. We do.
do.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Brooklyn Cares Community Center, right? So we have that, and it is updated with our information on it. Yeah.
I know. I hate to say, like, it's like so long. I don't know
Is
if
it on Facebook?
It is on Facebook,
It's on the
so you
Facebook,
can
yeah.
definitely link it through our Facebook page. And our Facebook page is Brooklyn Cares Community Center. I know that, we were very grateful in the beginning when we didn't have anybody to do any social media or anything like that. So we had Tiffany,
Yeah.
and she was able to set up a chat group. So she got a lot of people to follow that. Is that what
Brooklyn
it's called?
Cares, right?
Yeah,
The commu-
called
yeah.
Brooklyn Care. So I know
Yeah.
a lot of people that come and see a lot of information from that. So she set that up and then additionally helped set up our Facebook page. So there's two things. She manages the chat, so information still gets shared out there, but the primary Facebook page is the Brooklyn Cares Community Center Facebook page.
Gotcha.
And our hours are there, links to our website.
And almost anything we put on there, Tiffany does share, like on the
Yep.
Brooklyn
Yes.
Cares page. I just feel like the Brooklyn Cares Community Center is more direct, like you need an appointment. Like I'm gonna see that first, right?
Right.
How
to
do you
be able
make
to
an
be
appointment?
helpful. You can go on there and say I need to.
Oh.
You can call the phone number. You can email Vice President at Brooklyn Cares. A couple different options.
Do you know how many families frequent it already?
Yeah.
As far as
I
like
can
members?
read to you some very good data.
Yeah, give us some data.
So for the month of March, we served, the individuals served in the town of Brooklyn were 223.
And that was food and clothing, or just
That's
food?
just for the pantry.
That's
That's
just
just
the
for
food.
food.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And we had about 89 households. A couple from other towns, like I mentioned. If you do need food and you're in need, you can come to us, and we'll help you find where you could be going. It's going to be closer to you.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as far as the clothing, do we have any stats on that? Is that
We
on the other
do,
side.
we
is
do.
it's pretty incredible that you guys started so recently and you already got kind of like
Wow.
a well-oiled machine going.
Yeah, I mean, it really.
That makes us feel so good.
I know.
I'm not sure if we feel that way.
Some days I'm like, oh my goodness, do we have enough volunteers? Do we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
enough this? Are we open? What about the weather? And then we move and we realize I'm like, oh crap, we need to make sure
Somebody
we have
needs to
open
go
signs.
shovel quick. It's literally like that behind the scenes. Like,
Yeah.
hurry up, who's going?
I don't know. Do we have a year-to-date total here? I see that like March alone we served almost just shy of 600 individuals.
Oh,
Wow.
So we had processed 3,000 items through
Wow.
through the clothing
That's
closet. So-
incredible.
We don't limit there.
No, and we
so
don't
you
limit.
can kind of take what you need.
But you still have room full of
Yeah.
donations. So
We are a little. I find that people are donating winter stuff now, so
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
yeah.
because
I guess we're
so
gonna have
if-
to learn those ways.
yeah. So if you
know.
wanna, anybody has any summer things, spring, summer, lighter weight clothes, we definitely are running shorter on that.
Yeah,
So we could
understood.
definitely use that stuff. Not that it's empty by any means, but definitely it's like you get the winter at the end of winter.
Right, because they're
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm done with this. I don't want to put it away. I'll
Right.
just donate
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Or
So-
Which is great.
Yeah.
And next winter we'll be all set.
Yep,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
right. And then the next year following, right?
Yeah.
it's just going to be a matter of storing and rotating and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
do you know how many volunteers that you currently have?
I want to
About 16
say
between the
16
two of us, right?
fully active
Yeah.
volunteers.
Are doing that much work. That's
Yeah.
incredible. That's great. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're out there and you want to volunteer and help these people out, that's huge.
Yeah, and you can do as little and as much as you want. I mean, you're not a forward-facing person. You can just come on the days that we do sorting and unloading, and just they've built. I mean, I can say everybody's built a little community in there. Like
Yeah.
people come now because we have a lot of retirees.
Yeah.
voluntold my mom when she had time. So she spends a lot of time there,
Nice.
you know. So I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna need you.
I think our first volunteer night was Shelly and I and our families.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
We're like, we're gonna have a volunteer orientation. It's gonna be perfect. And then it was like, okay, well here we are.
Here we
That
are. Yep.
We've kind of evolved since then.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I mean, and you tell one, and they're like, I have someone who can come. So,
Yep.
and you know, people's priorities change. So sometimes, you know, you might
Right.
lose someone for a day, and you know, we always would love to have a place to fill that in. So, we are open on Saturdays and some evening hours for people who like work and still want to be helpful.
Hmm.
I know it's tough during the day, during the week for those who of us
And
who
you're
hold
not
full-time
stuck, right?
stuff.
Like just call and
Yeah.
get your name on the list, and then you'll see every week what's needed for that time. You can do it once, try it, see if it works for you, come back,
Yep. And then you can do an
flexible.
hour, even if, you know, if we're open for 2 hours, you can just do an hour. Just I can come for half an hour. Like you don't have to commit to a whole
Right.
day.
Right.
You
Right.
can come for as much time as you want,
Right.
really.
Yeah. That's awesome. And then I also know kind of firsthand, not a whole lot about it, but there are scouts that are
Yeah.
doing their service projects through you guys.
Yeah, we have Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, both that we have a Boy Scout that's doing a
Right now
community
he's doing
library.
The
yeah,
free
like a
library.
free
Yeah.
And
library.
he is a scout from Troop 44, so
Yeah.
he's one of our lead scouts, doing very well. He's actually, so a lot of Boy Scouts in high school is usually when they at least start, and they have to make their Eagle project.
Right.
And doing your Eagle project junior or senior year is a nightmare because you got so much going on at junior and senior year. You usually have a job, a car, your sports, whatever,
Yeah.
all that stuff going on, girlfriends, whatever. So this particular scout is, I think, a freshman, and
Yeah, I think so
he's
too.
on his Eagle Scout, and that is just so impressive to me,
Yeah.
and so cool that he's, because you have to get up through a lot of different ranks and a lot of different merit badges before you can even start your Eagle project, and
Yeah.
the fact that he's doing it now his freshman year is such a huge accomplishment. So
And that's not all, like, because he volunteers too
Yeah,
with
he
his mom on
volunteers.
Saturdays.
Nice.
People, and he knows the ropes almost better than I do by this point. So
Yeah.
wow.
it's great to have him.
Yeah. And I mean, it is great to see, right? Like, even though he's, you know, say only a freshman, but like he had to present to the board. Like, he had to come and stand in front and he had to do it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, that's, you know, learning some great skills there.
Yeah,
And we're happy to be able to have him.
yeah. We're big on public speaking.
Yeah.
That's like one of the big things when
great.
you're a scout. If you're in it and you're going up through rank, you're teaching classes, you're public speaking. That whole thing. It's really, that to me is such a huge skill to have, and to be able to go to most interviews are with multiple people or a board now. So if you're already doing that as a freshman or eighth grader, and you're that comfortable speaking in front of people, is who knows what would happen after college?
Right.
When you go for those interviews.
Great
that
tools to learn.
set you,
Sure.
yeah,
I
it's
agree.
huge.
I agree.
So
We have more. If you ever are interested in sending more Boy Scouts our way.
oh, for sure.
Yeah, because we are asking about growing an extra row project. Have you ever heard of that?
An extra row, so that would
So-
be like our personal gardens. You would want.
If you wanted to
To-
plant an extra row to be donated to us, right? Because I mentioned we do get Big Y on Saturdays, but we could also use some fresh vegetables like on Thursdays and other times, right? But our thought is that even beyond that, if anybody, we had the idea of some raised beds like to put outside, that's a great Boy Scout project as well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah.
So the raised beds would be at
Yeah, at the
31
community center.
I mean, that would be
Street.
the plan. This is
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
loose, this is our
Yeah.
loose idea.
This is how things go. We met for 5 minutes before we came here, and then we're like, oh, well, we could do this, and then we could do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we do have volunteers there. We do have the capability of having a raised bed somewhere because we're going to have the area dedicated for the little library. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
just having a network built around people growing an extra row of
Yeah.
stuff for
Yes.
community, Brooklyn Cares.
Yes.
Yeah, that is right now what we're focused on, hoping
Yeah.
that, because like Jill said, like we do have fresh stuff that comes from Big Y, but it's not always produce. Sometimes it's just bread and
Right.
pastries. So
Yeah.
it's not the green stuff. It's not, the fresh fruits and veggies that, you don't get with the
Right. The goal is,
non-perishables. Like,
yeah.
even though we have refrigeration, it's milk and bread and dairy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
That's
frozen
true. We
meats
do
and
have
stuff.
milk all the time. Milk
Yeah.
we get every single time for every family that has it. Milk, butter, eggs sometimes when we
Sometimes.
can. Yeah.
So,
Eggs are real
anybody
tough.
with chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drop 'em
Right.
down.
Right.
So you can have a chicken coop project.
Well, let's just use our friends with chickens.
We don't want them
That's
at the center right now.
There's a lot of wildlife
Yeah.
there. We have
Oh
to
yeah,
lose those
that's true.
chickens.
Oh, something could eat your vegetables too.
That is
Yeah,
true, but if
that's
we could
true.
put a little, we'll figure it out.
We
We'll-
thought it'd be
we'll hire
worth
the
a
Boy
try.
Scouts.
Yeah. Yeah. But really, you're right, Shelley. Back to this, we
Yeah.
definitely, this is our goal for this year is to get this going. And,
Yeah.
if anybody, so I know we have quite a few farms in Brooklyn. I know I had spoken at the end of last summer to Little Dipper. They're interested in trying to help us out and commuting and getting some kind of community around that and delivery times and stuff. So it would be great. We have it out so everybody can call and find out more or put their name on a list.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there are Girl Scouts doing
Yeah,
their service
yeah.
projects.
So Girl Scouts are doing some of their service projects, although those have been adapting as we've been waiting. So theirs is limited on some things that we have to fulfill. So that's, unfortunately, we're holding them up a little bit. But they have to do some projects on policies and procedures, and they
Oh,
have
wow.
to do
The exciting
projects.
stuff.
Yeah, the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to do or follow, but
I don't know. There's some that want to color code binders and stuff that really like doing that.
yeah, that is true. That's
We
true.
appreciate that. A volunteer
Yeah.
comes in and wants to know what to do. It's nothing worse than being a volunteer that wants to give your time but not know what to do, right? So now it's taken us a couple of years, but now we've got that down.
Yeah,
Like
I
and
think
have
so.
people like them doing the work for us.
Yeah, not anyone. Right. So we have some skeleton, at least for the clothing closet side, we have like some skeleton directions and procedures. Then but they could fine tune it. We haven't really put any in place for like when closing, what you do with donations when they come in. So like definitely building that. But I know that they're additionally talk about helping do our laundry room and organizing and designing that to
How about
be as
doing
efficient-
laundry?
and doing laundry, right?
Yeah.
All of it. So they're working on that, I know for sure, which is going to be a great asset to us.
Yeah.
So.
I would definitely think writing down the procedures and stuff like that because, as I always say, like every volunteer needs a protege, and to help the longevity of the
Right.
organization, and
We're
to
all
have
elephants, right? Teach what we know. Teach
Yeah.
what we know
and then
to survive.
if there's for each position that needs to be there on a weekly basis or whatever on a monthly basis, then they would have the procedures written down so that like if somebody, God forbid, just leaves with no notice, you have that like, what do they do? Oh my goodness, you know what I mean?
Right.
How do we train the next person? So
Right, and that's really it. Is like making sure that we have the tools in place for people to be successful, right? Like
Yeah.
if they're not successful, we're not successful, and
Right.
then we can't give all that we can back to our community. So
Yeah, and every little bit of efficiency helps other people know like, hey, my donation goes to a great cause. Like they have procedures that none of the produce gets wasted or has to get thrown out or whatever, and
right,
that sort of thing. That's huge. Or there's no money wasted because people are standing around.
right,
No
and
one
we
is
do
dumping
that, like the
that.
produce. So the limited
Yeah.
produce that we do get, we
Make sure none of it
we
is-
try to make sure we don't
Right.
waste any of it. So like
Yeah.
it goes to if the food pantry closes and everybody's shopped, then the shoppers that come, regardless of who they are, get to pick through anything that might still be remaining. And then at the end of the day, we try to what is the
So normally at the end, we'll bring it down to the clothing closet because we're two separate spaces. And then if you're in the clothing closet, you might have some produce left over.
yeah, and if it's left over from there, we tend to drop it at the
Oh, then I'll
the
go back
bank.
around. You're right.
right. We go to and then so
I'll
like,
drop it off at Friends of Assisi too. They have a table out front.
Yeah.
Or bring it. We do often go back to the shelter
Hmm.
in Danielson too and drop it off if there's a lot left over.
So if it's bread, we try to freeze it so that we can use it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Produce is a little different, so we try to find a home for it that day.
Nice.
Yeah, logistics are a nightmare
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
Right, right. But it's always, I always try to make sure that we talk about that, because it's, so many people are very, and they should be stringent with their donation, and they want it to go to a good cause. There's some people that don't want to donate to anything that pays people or has a lot of overhead like that, and then there's some people that want it to go and make sure it never gets wasted, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
I would
know.
say that's true. I mean, there's some overhead. We have some overhead. But most of everything comes as a donation,
Yeah.
in-kind services.
Yeah, definitely.
And I didn't mean like overhead, like, you got to keep the lights on and stuff like that, but I mean like
Yeah, we don't
just
pay
like the lavish
employees, we don't-
overhead
Oh,
and
yeah.
huge salaries that
Yeah,
may or
every
may not be.
volunteer, 100%
Yeah.
volunteer
Yes.
basis.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
there is not a single paid person on our staff.
There's
I mean,
not.
I think we put it together how much it would have cost us. Didn't we have a number on that?
We might
I
have.
think
Oh,
we
like
put
a
it-
payroll
yeah,
number?
Yeah,
what
Yeah.
would it cost if we had to pay these volunteers? And I think we were like, no.
Yeah, we can't.
We thank
Yeah.
you
Not
all
ready.
for your
That,
time.
that
Thank
might
you
be
so
better
much.
for our psyche not to put that
Yeah.
number out there.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like more people are apt to volunteer than, oh, we need somebody for 2 hours. Nobody wants to get paid for 2 hours. It's not worth it, right?
Yeah.
But if it's volunteer work, they're like, yeah, of course, I'll give my time.
We do.
So it's almost, you're better off, and it's cheaper to not.
Yeah.
We can service more people.
That's right.
We
Yeah.
just have to
exactly.
expense out that kind of thing.
Because we do receive cash donations, so that's where we're able to provide each family with milk, butter, eggs, things
Yeah,
like
use
that.
Oh,
to
okay.
fill
Or,
in.
yeah, we have to
fill in
buy
the
those
blanks,
few
yeah.
little fill-ins. We have gone shopping before if we're running really low on vegetables or something that, meat, things that we
Yeah.
really feel like, families
Yeah, you
deserve,
want to try and give a
right? Yeah.
balanced meal
Yep.
or multiple meals for a family. So that's a lot of food and it's a lot of stuff. And yeah,
We have a great partnership with Walmart in Brooklyn too. Like the minute we're running low on this, oh, you can come, stand out front, try to get donations, or that we know they have great prices. We shop there sometimes when we need to. So
wow.
yeah,
Yeah, she's really great over there.
she is.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the person in charge of community outreach for Walmart in Brooklyn. So
She's
that's
great.
really awesome to have that in our town
Yep.
as
Yeah, people.
an asset, I guess
Resource.
we would call it. Yeah,
No,
resource.
like big box, we get it, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're community driven. I really feel like
They do give back at
they
least,
do.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody starts out small. We don't knock anyone like that. I just feel like at the bench, we try to
Yeah.
promote local. I just
Yep.
love the small business minded type of community and that sort of thing.
Great.
As far as Brooklyn Cares Community Center, is there, that used to be a church, right? Or is it still a church?
Well, I
Or how does
think
that work?
so. The town owns that building.
They own it. Okay.
So it's a town-owned building. They recently bought it back from the Putnam Housing Authority, I think,
I
for
don't
like $1.
Oh wow. Okay.
Super, it was just really a transfer,
Yeah.
right? So the housing authority. So we thought it would just be such a great space because it was going unused. So it was like a daycare. I think church. I think there's church communities that meet there. I don't think it's considered a church.
Yeah.
They have
Pack
a teen
44
center.
meets there a lot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. The Boy Scouts, Girl
Scouts,
Scouts meet
yeah.
there. Some of
Tried the
his-
teen center. Yeah.
yeah, they tried it as
That
a
was
teen
great.
center for a while. That was a donation-based program, so unfortunately that wasn't able to sustain. But then it was empty. We're like, this is a great spot. It's in a, unfortunately a needed community. It's easy for people to walk to and get what they need.
Yeah.
Being able to focus on Brooklyn residents, it really was able to bring them to a place that they, part of their own community.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah.
And it's a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if people came to us a year ago, we were literally giving food out wherever we could. A closet here, a closet there. Oh, let me bring you into the kitchen and okay, stand behind the door because you can't get to it. Now
Shut
we
the door
have
to open the fridge.
and so now we have a bigger space, but along with that, we are able to service more people. So now we're getting we're able to go shopping at the Connecticut Food Share. We're able to get Midwest Food Bank. So I felt like that was important. If you came last year and you were like, oh, they didn't barely have anything, we were kind of just getting up and running. So please come back and give us
Yeah.
another try if you
Yep.
need.
Definitely.
Wow.
There's lots there to offer, and additional resources. We can help. You know, don't be afraid. That's what we're there for. We're here to help.
Yep.
So now back to the building. Are you guys mainly on the lower level of it? Okay.
Yes.
So I've never
Yep.
been down there. I've been at the upstairs for different meetings and stuff like that. So
Yep. It's lower level. It's two separate entities. Really, it's not.
Yeah.
They're not connected. So we are able. There's a smaller room, off to the side from where we are. That is still a town function room.
oh, okay.
So it's a smaller space that they use for
Yeah.
things that they have. We are able to use it for upon request and stuff. But yeah, mostly the lower level. We have two major shopping rooms and additional storage.
Yep.
So are you guys set up as a tenant of the town?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
But they
Sure.
pretty much maintain it. So
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
a little off the shoulders of the,
Yeah. I mean,
the
and it's
volunteers
very
and the
lucky.
donators.
yeah, we
yeah.
are very
Knock on wood.
lucky.
Yeah.
Right, to still have that opportunity.
That's awesome. Do you see any like a future where you would need to go to a different location, or you think you're in a pretty good spot as far as space and whatnot?
I don't see an immediate need,
Yeah.
but
Could grow upstairs.
You're asking the wrong person. I would love to have like
yeah,
a whole social service agency.
yeah.
Oh,
that
okay.
would-
But right,
Don't ask me. I'm just the.
are you gonna
I'm just a
organize
volunteer.
that?
Yeah. I'm just a volunteer with a big mind.
Yeah, I mean, and it's true. We would love to be able to grow and expand to
More
to do all those
services.
things and offer
Yeah.
more services and be able to do that. I think that we all have those big grand ideas, but focusing on what we have now, I think we're doing a really great job. And
Yeah.
every time we can start something a little bit new, just
Yeah.
makes you grow.
And
Well-
just know if they need help, they can still come to us now.
Yeah.
That we don't
Yeah.
need to be bigger yet,
No.
Right.
but we can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we have so many community support that we have the resources to be able to say, you know what, we don't have that here, but you can go here and you can do that. I mean, the help that we got just to be able to open up
Yeah.
then is just, it was crazy. We just no competition. I feel like, I mean, they just opened their doors and said, sure, come see what we do, and you can do it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It seems like the food bank type of community or network that everybody's, like I said, looking for a protege, even from one organization to another. You
Yeah.
know, they're all, and even like you guys said, like if there's extra, there's places to put it and whatnot.
Yeah, we have access agency right for Brooklyn right now that for any social service needs. So we're lucky. They are great. They are wonderful. Everybody that works there. So there's no lack of where we can give you for another resource at this time.
Yeah, shout out to the Access Agency. I've worked with them actually as a realtor. Had families move in to rents, and they've like paid for the deposit, or they've done rent assistance. They've done energy assistance on the
Yes.
bills and stuff like that. So they're an amazing resource if you're in
Yeah.
if you're in need. Give them a call because there's probably something they can help you out with.
Right.
We're-
And not everybody knows. Not everybody knows
Yeah.
to ask. So
Right.
Right.
if you're, if there's a need or a struggle, then just say, hey, where would I just ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody even knows where to ask or where to go. So
Yeah.
And it's true. It's based on funding. You have to go by town things and all of this to get where you need your money to be from. But it doesn't mean that we don't all work together to help everybody.
Right, right. And yeah, like you said, if Brooklyn Cares doesn't offer it, you have a list of numbers or a Rolodex. Does anybody know what that means anymore?
not many people.
A
probably.
Rolodex of contact. It's where all this numbers and names are stored.
I can remember when I first started, I needed to have it there, like right next to my phone. The other day, I was like, I could probably put this in a drawer, but my body just wouldn't let me do it.
I think I have one
I
in a
might
drawer.
need it.
I think I have over 1,000 phone numbers on my phone now.
Yeah.
Hit that mark.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. You don't ever want to forget a contact.
Right.
Every one of them's important.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some that are shut down. There are different numbers now.
Yep.
But so you guys obviously have your own full-time jobs. You work for the school, right?
I work for the town.
You work for the town. Okay. And so I just kind of like just to give it a little bit of background on like you volunteer, but it's not like a full-time thing. It's not something that
Yeah,
somebody
we
like-
both have full-time jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And additionally do this.
yeah.
Right.
And
And
children,
families.
families.
And,
Yeah. So
It's true.
I don't want to put too much of your information out there, but I just want people to like realize like the background of the typical volunteer. Like it's, we're all very busy. It's
Yeah.
it's tough to find time for sure.
Right.
But,
That's why we're grateful for every minute
yeah,
anybody can spend.
And that's the other thing is if you want to feel appreciated, go volunteer somewhere because a lot of these organizations just, I mean.
Yeah.
Just having you guys on, we got a batch of cookies and wine and
Perfect.
bourbon.
And
So-
we can't say enough great things about our volunteers. I mean, they are our shoppers love them. They're inviting. They're friendly. They take pride in every single thing that they do. So every time they're there, like they are enjoying it and they are really happy to help.
And I hope that they know that.
Yeah.
And my hope always is when you leave, you should leave with a better feeling than when
Yeah.
you came in. And if
Yeah.
you don't, then let Shelly or I know or anybody on the board because that's our goal. We want to be giving back to the volunteers as much as we are to the community.
Right. Because
Yeah.
without them,
That's why we do
couldn't
it.
even be able to open our
Right?
doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it just 5 minutes with you guys in the room, it's you can tell that you're very appreciative, and I'm sure that's board wide kind of thing. So,
I would say yes.
Yeah,
We have a great
all
board.
volunteers.
All-
So,
yep.
yep, we
They
just
volunteer
sit
too.
around and come up with crazy ideas and try
Hope
to
they
do
work.
it. Yeah.
Throw spaghetti against the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it doesn't stick, we cook it a little longer.
Yeah.
Stick it
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Try different sauce, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's really great because a lot of people will like leave the school atmosphere and then like not be on a sports team anymore. And to find a place where you're not only giving back and helping, you're part of a team, and you can really be somewhere where you're appreciated, that kind of thing. I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like when you go to help at these places and volunteer, yes, you're giving hours and maybe you're getting up early to go do it or whatever, you're sacrificing certain things to go do it, but I think the reward part is so much bigger, and like a lot of people don't always see that long term, like, oh, we're friends for life kind of thing
Right.
with the people that you've been volunteering with, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I know that we've reconnected some old friends. Like they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, I didn't know you did this. I'll come do this if you're doing it." And
Yeah.
so and new friendships I think have grown.
Families doing it together.
Yeah.
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 She's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, she's okay.
She's okay. And for sure you too. And then like when we had Friends of Assisi on, like, I mean, Mindy and Jean, I mean, they're like such close friends now, and it's it's just something that I don't know,
Like people are together, right?
yeah, it's like if you are in need of a best friend, go volunteer somewhere. Honestly,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, if you're feeling
Yeah.
like you just need some company, so I
Yeah,
guess we could
it's-
benefit in that manner too, right? You don't
Right.
have to just if you need a place to go or you feel
Yeah.
like you have no connection, then
Yeah.
come because
Yeah.
we'll all welcome you with open arms.
right, yeah, helping out helps you. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's
Yeah.
just such a weird concept, but at the same time, it's like I want everyone to realize this. Like,
Yeah.
some of the worst jobs in the world people can do because they have their best friend working alongside them. You know what I mean? Like
We've
that
all
kind
seen
of
the
thing.
memes, right? Like
yeah.
my best friend's leaving, I'm out of here. Right? Like,
Yeah.
Yep. I
So,
agree. I think
yeah.
that's what I was trying to say by if you're not leaving with the same feeling, then,
Yeah.
if you're not leaving with a good feeling, let us know.
Yeah.
Something's not going right.
It's kind of in the fitness world too. Like you might be more apt to go work out if you have a friend that you're going to meet to work out. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So
Yeah.
and Shout out to my workout buddy Justin. So, not that it shows, but I still eat
No,
like
it
an
doesn't,
animal.
yeah. Oh,
Food,
probably can
though,
eat the
it's so good.
cookies in about 10 minutes. That's right.
Yeah, those cookies are gonna get crushed after this.
Yeah, I think that's like the third batch because we had to reschedule. I think
Oh,
we had
that's a shame. You guys
Which was
had some
fine
free
because
had
we
to
took
eat
care
some,
of
I
them.
think.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did. We did.
yeah, we
But-
had to remake some.
Thank you,
'cause they
Patty.
didn't last. I know she's
I-
so good. Her cookies are delicious. You're gonna love them.
Nice. I will say, open invitation. We'd love to do the food bank February. So it'd be great to have every Monday in February filled with a food bank. Right? Friends of a CC,
Great.
Brooklyn Cares, and scheduling didn't work out as much with the others this year. But yeah, we're working on that as far as February goes because I know those are like the lean months. You know, those are tough because
Yeah,
everybody
right after the
donates.
holidays.
Yeah, everybody donates through the holidays, but we kind of forget about it or it just goes by the wayside for February, January,
Yeah.
February, March, those types.
So-
those
Yeah, we
years.
did have some really great the PTO. Really, they had like dances and stuff. I think through,
Yes.
and they brought in
Yep.
some
Like the bring
food.
someone special
Yeah.
dance all that time. Yep.
Yeah,
That's how we stayed running for almost 2 years was just donations. Before we were
Donations.
able to move to
I know the
Connecticut
school.
Food
They
Bank.
did.
Yeah.
They did the same thing. Their classrooms had to compete.
Yeah.
Elementary and middle school. I think they both did just for food. The food part of it.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Business Association.
Yeah. Oh
they're
yeah. Shout out to
huge,
them. They're
huge.
great.
Yeah.
They're fully.
They're
They love to
great.
be involved and. They
Their
really-
president Keith is coming in
Oh.
next week.
Oh, yeah.
So
Have
yeah,
known Keith a long time.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're excited to talk to him.
Nice.
Good.
So no, that's awesome that all these other organizations, especially within our town,
Yeah.
are so being so helpful and
I think that was the plan, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the goal,
Yeah,
right?
and
Like,
it-
let's bring a Brooklyn Cares Community Center to Brooklyn, and let's make sure that we're all part of the same.
It's
family.
amazing. It's like it catches, right? And it's contagious. And it's like more people give, and then you see it, and it's more out there, then more people want to give. And so
Yeah,
it's refreshing to see.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
We're lucky in this community. We are.
yeah, I agree. Is there anything else that we're missing? Any other facets to this?
We want to just reiterate the grow an extra row. Bring
Grow
the
an
Grow an
extra
extra
row.
row.
I'm sure
Plugging that
we're
again.
forgetting
Yeah.
people.
I'm sure.
I mean,
yes, I'm
people,
sure.
the people that are involved. Our board members are awesome. The people that helped us get started, all of them. Did we maybe? I think we got.
I think we hit almost
Creamery
everybody.
Brook
Oh, yeah.
has. Yep.
Oh, Creamery Brook.
Yep.
Shout out.
Now. Does anybody you guys know
Now,
about
yep,
now?
yep,
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
They're
we know
awesome.
Now.
They helped us get our connection to Big Y and did it for us for a while.
Yeah, and they're a great resource for us to be able to. I mean, they do a lot of
Collaborate with, like, definitely if a family calls and they're in need of something, or they're a great resource to go to for the younger ones.
Yeah, they also have a program empowering young women.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
And it's
Awesome
like an
program.
hour or hour and a half every Friday where you can send your teenager, and they do a lot of cool stuff. for the-
They really do. Yep.
Yeah, I
So-
think we hit everybody. We don't want to forget. We probably will because there's so many.
yeah,
I mean,
but-
so many people to thank.
But you're
Yeah.
right. I think our next directive is the grow another row
grow
project.
another row.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Don't throw
Yeah, I mean, and then if people just have excess of their garden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, right.
Like
not even-
my dad grows squash, and my God, at the end of the season, there's
Yes.
tons. Of
Yeah.
leftovers.
Yes.
And those
Yeah.
keep for a while.
yeah.
Yep.
Right.
And even if you're
Yeah, the
going to put
winter
them like
squash.
at the end of your driveway for people to take, that's great. But then like give us a call. We could maybe come by and pick it up, So
No, if they put it there, just go by and
Yeah.
grab
just
them.
take it anyway. Okay. All right.
It's
I
still
will.
going to a good cause.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can have a targeted audience,
Yes.
right? Then
Yep.
somebody just driving by and seeing a squash on the side.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. Just grow an extra row. It's
Yeah.
like, I mean, some of the marketing ideas that come out of these things are
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know like we always overproduce in our garden, and
Now you have a place to bring it.
Except for
before
your
you
fruit
have to-
trees.
fruit trees are pruned and they are budding now. So
Wow.
yeah, and I was out there today looking at it, and I'm gonna take a picture because It kind of looks like ballet dancers the way I cut them. I don't know. It's really weird because they got the like. I don't know.
Is that what ballet dancers look like now?
I don't know. It looks like they're doing something like dancing of some sort. I don't know. It was just kind of cool looking. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't drink during the day. No. Today was my first one. Didn't happen till like 5.
Oh, perfect. So is that what you were saying? You want to be the first one on our list of
Grow
growing
your
out of the?
own.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're all little saplings right now
Oh,
under a light. But
Right.
if we overproduce, we
We
will
can wait.
definitely
We'll
bring
be
them
there.
down. We know exactly where you are.
Yeah, perfect.
And anyone else out there for sure, they're at 31 Tiffany Street in Brooklyn. And their number is 860-779-3411, extension 311. And they're open for donations. What's your hours again?
So we're open for donations anytime we're open. So Thursdays and Saturdays are the primary days to keep an eye out for. Someone's there at the building, I want to say most of the day on Thursday between 11 and 6. So if you, like, I would say we would accept them because if you left it at the door, as long as it wasn't raining, right? We don't have a great place to leave it. So we don't want to like urge people to just drop and go on
Yeah.
any day. But since we're open most of the days on Thursdays, then like any time from 11 to 6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
We're
that would
open
be
for donations, and then Saturdays 10 to 12.
nice. Nice. And that's clothes and food and produce. They have refrigeration, they
We
have
do take
freezers.
monetary.
Yeah,
You know, we're
yeah,
not-
they take monetary.
That helps us be able to fill in the spaces.
Yeah. If you got any money burning holes in your pocket, you don't want to get singed. You just
Yeah,
bring
that's
it
right.
down.
We'll take it.
That's right. Won the big bucks in the lotto. Drop
Yeah.
it on down.
So anyway, I thank you guys so much for coming on and telling us your story. And
Thank you.
obviously, you're welcome here. And if we can get you in on February, hopefully neither one of us is sick or
Yeah,
having
yeah.
any kind of.
Oh,
other-
that was
It was-
everybody and everywhere.
That
I
was
know.
rough.
And it
It
was
was a rough month.
winter.
it was weird because everything was going great. I was like, oh, I might get through the winter without getting sick.
That's what you said. You thought it. You said it out loud.
I don't think I said it. Just like
Jinxed yourself. Right
felt
there.
good, and then I didn't. It was instant. But no, it'll be great to have Food Bank February here at the Community Workbench, and get your stories out there and get people inspired to either donate or volunteer.
Yeah,
Love that idea.
So
me too.
Thank you.
awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody. The Community Workbench families are having their annual Spread the Love campaign. If you have anything extra, monetary, food, or clothing, Brooklyn Cares is open for donations, and they are doing so many good things for our community. And even just as much as the price of a coffee can go a long way at Brooklyn Cares or any of the other food banks in the area. A quick Google will get you anyone near you. Also, join us again Monday when we have Keith Goslin of Northeast On-Site Services and the president of Brooklyn Business Association on at the bench. Until then, as always, buy local, hire local, dine local, volunteer local, and donate local. Have great days, everybody.